Hello everyone. Today I'll going to continue my adventure inside the English-speaking YouTube. As I promised, we will cover some technical topics on this channel. Today is the one of it. I name it as parsing of the internet. Um, that happens that in past few months there was a lot of people who come to me with such trivial task like I want to parse the site A. And usually it's something like, I don't know, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you can think about. It just not site like I don't know, some landing, but the huge sites like it's more like a portals, not site itself. So that's a question that often had been asked to me, like, can we do this? And is it possible to do in this and some small amount of money? And I want to talk about it. Why that people come to me and ask this question? It's usually because there are some service A in the internet then provide the data that they need, but or they doesn't provide all functionalities that person asking me about parsing the site want, or actually it costs a lot. And often it's actually a reason why people want to do it by themselves. We won't pay for this service like 10 rands a year, and we use that money to write our own service like that. And I don't know, they so delusional with that request. So I can't even describe how delusional are they. Because for these 10 rands, it won't even cover the programmer cost. And what also you need to cover, it's the next things. And now I want to explain why it's a costly request, why it will cost a lot of money for people who want to create those sites. I begin from most obvious things, like, okay, to save all, I don't know, Wikipedia, YouTube data, you need a lot of storage. So that's the first reason why it costs a lot. You just spend a doesn't amount of money on AWS S3 storage, or I don't know, some RDS, or I don't know, you can buy your own servers and save the data there, but it still will cost you more than 10 rands and often much more. Another one that nobody thinks about, it's to actually make this data useful, you should process them. And that's another roadblock that you should go through. In the past, people wanted the simple thing from this data. It's like, okay, put it into some SQL storage and make the analytics. And it's won't cost a lot. it's not cheap, but it won't cost a lot. And now often requests looks like, okay, we want to parse that site and pass all this data through some large language model and receive some insights from it. And it costs a lot, really a lot. And nobody actually thinks about it. How much will cost to through all this data just in some, I don't know, OpenAI APIs or other LLM, but at the end, it won't be enough just to pass it once. Usually, you do a lot of things with its data to receive actually meaningful insights. Surely, it depends on the data itself and on the requests that you want, but usually it won't be enough just to process all this data with LLMs. And the last thing is that really nobody think about when talking about the parsing of the internet. It's that nobody actually wants to be parsed. Really, nobody. If you're owner of some site and you want to be parsed, please write in comments and say about this. So yeah, and we will know that there are some people like that in the world, but usually nobody. And even the services that had an API where you can query the data, make that API paid, make that API closed, so even you can pay to access this data. And then often, even if the service has that like APIs, etc., they had limits that you should go through. And more often, for example, if we're talking about the Meta, okay, they had APIs, but to access data, you should receive access from their owner to get this data. So yes, there are some data easily accessed, but usually even for that data, you had limits that you should go through. And if there are no some kind of API like that, then we should go through hard process to parse this data. So first of all, you will need bot accounts. So it's usually not enough to have one account, because on these services you often have account binded limits. So like, for example, from one account you can download 1000 of some data per day, and then you can go farther if you hit that limit. So probably you should have some farm of accounts where you will have some already created account, but usually they become banned at some point of time. So you should go deeper, and actually that farm should create new accounts when the older was expired. Okay, now we have the required amount of accounts to go through the limits that platform with data has. And the next thing that come up to the game is actually that they can ban you by IPs. And that's also something that you should work with. So how usually it handled? You had a proxy. So you create a farm of proxy servers. Depending on the site, you can sometimes use some cloud servers, for example, in AWS, but usually they also doesn't have a fit for this task because they see when the platform sees a unusual load from the servers inside the some cloud provider, they say them a message with ask like you should stop this, and then you as a owner of account you receive a penalty like or you stop this activity or you will be removed from this cloud, and nobody wants that. So usually classical clouds isn't a solution there. And there are a few of existing solutions with proxies that provide you the ability to send your request from their IPs, and it can be dynamical issued IPs. So each request goes through individual IP, and each time it's a new IP, but it costs a lot. So depend on the server service, and depend on the service that you want to parse, and depend on their limits. So often some services has very strict limits, and you need a lot of IPs to go through. And when at the end of the day we solved all these problems and we okay with the cost of the storage, the cost of processing, we okay with this stuff of accounts, proxies, there's still a thing that should be somehow managed, because usually, especially if it's not some APIs, but you parse like or HTML pages or some internal endpoints, they often change their schema. They often change their markdown, and they often change their JSON schemas. It's some of their internal things, and they allow to change that. And after this, you come up that, okay, you can just like say that, okay, I wrote all the code and I don't need a team. I have a stable cost of the solution. But no, you actually need some person who will manage this solution, who will fix all possible problems that will happen. And after that, when you count all of these costs, it comes up that it's actually not worth. And you understand why the service you don't want to pay actually cost that amount of data. Actually, it's much cheaper than doing it by yourself, and that's come that way because they have their data not for one of you, but for you and for all of their other customers. So they split the cost of ownership of that solution by the all the customers. And yeah, they have some margin about it, but still it works for you and for them. Right now, when I'm recording this video, I just have an idea. Cost of ownership often is miswatched things in IT, and often people, when doing some technology, never think about it. So, okay, they think how much it will cost to develop something, but they often doesn't think about how much it will cost to make it running. And that's some interesting topics that we can talk about. So if you want me to talk about the cost of ownership, please write in the comments, and then I will add the topic to the list of topics that I want to talk with you. If today's topic was interesting for you, so I will be happy and appreciate it if you leave a comment about the topic, press a like button, and maybe you also can press a subscribe button. So thank you for watching, and a spoiler, the next topic won't be technical, it won't be some kind of philosophic, but most of the mental stuff that I faced recently. So if you won't miss it, you also can press a subscribe button, and after that press a bell, so you will have a notification when this video will appear on the channel.